Am I the ASS for not wanting to sign a postnup after 20 years of marriage? No, you're not, but you're definitely the naked wife and the mama wife. Hey, cousins, I miss y'all. I love you. I wanted to jump on really quick and do this video before I get my day started. And I want to know what you think. And this is why, ladies, this is why. I beg, plead, yell, scream, kick on YouTube and in my books, encouraging you not to marry too young, not to marry men who have not established themselves, not to marry men who are not mature, who are not successful, who are not accomplished, and who has not established themselves as men. When you marry men who are little boys, who are winging it, who are hobosexuals, who are fixer uppers and builder males, this is what you will get. Please, ladies, do not choose this man. It says, am I the ASSS for not wanting to sign a postnup after 20 years of marriage? My 39, she's 39 female, her husband is 40, and I have been together for 25 years, married for 20. We don't have any children. We got together in high school. High school, you should be having no boyfriends and being with one dude in high school, okay? We got married soon after high school. This is getting married too young, right after high school. Where do you work at? How can he pay the bills? What is his career? She says, I went to college. We got married right after high school. I went to college and graduated with a business degree, got a corporate job while he attended college and figured out what he wanted to do professionally. Please tell me why. I need to put up another one of my pictures up here with my eyes rolling. Why would you marry a man who has not figured out what he wants to do professionally, his career? Why would you marry that man who's a little boy who that is what he's supposed to be doing after high school? Figuring out your life and professionally what you want to do. Granted, parents, y'all should have been talking to your kids from early on about what they want to do. You should have been nurturing their bent. Little Michael went from want to be a painter to an archaeologist to a dentist at one time to a veterinarian, but he don't like needles, so he don't want to be giving the animals needles. He don't like needles. To finally, when he was about 7 or 8, he settled on being an engineer. What the Bible says, raise up a child in the way he should go. And so we've been nurturing his bent, grant, and I just remember I signed up for him to go to a 4-week course at a college that's doing engineering for 5th graders. He's in the 5th grade. Yes, it costs money. You got to pay some money. So can he change his mind? Of course he can change his mind. He's 10. But he's just determined, I'm going to be an engineer. Daddy went to school for engineering. Uncle T's is an engineer. Uncle R went to school for engineering. My cousin, Uncle T's son, is now in college, one of the best engineering college in New Jersey for engineering. We're nurturing his bent. We drive by Daddy's school that Daddy went for engineering often and say, this is where you're going to be coming, Michael. This is going to be your college. So he already has it in his mind. Again, he's 10. Can he change his mind? Yes. Whatever he leans to, we're going to nurture it so that when he's 18 going to college and 19, he already know what he wants to do and become. Parents, this is our job. Your 18, 19-year-old should not be 18 and 19, and they don't have an idea of what they want to become. And what were you doing for 18 years? Moving on. She says, I went to college and figured out, and while he attended college, she got a corporate job. Okay, corporate job, make a lot of money. While he went to college to figure out what he wants to do professionally. A few years after I started my corporate job, I had saved enough for a down payment on a house. So she's the man because he's still figuring out what he wants to do. I saved enough for a down payment on a house. I was able to save enough thanks to living with my in laws rent free for 3 years. So you marry a man who could not even put a roof over your head, that you had to move in with him and his mama and his dad as a married woman. You don't see something wrong with that. I purchased a property, and since my husband didn't have any income, he was left out of the loan, and the bank asked him to sign a quit claim deed. Right, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no money, your name cannot go on the loan. After 6 years in community college, my husband finally decided to quit college. This neglect spent 6 years in community college, and then he didn't even graduate. Can you say bum? This is why, ladies, you do not marry these men who are figuring out their lives, who are becoming. They need to become. 6 years. Community college is 2 years. I will give you 3 years because, you might be working, so on and so forth. This no good trash, sorry excuse taking up air, spent 6 years in community college and didn't even graduate. He quit college to focus on his freelance art career, which brought him some income. He also got a part-time job to help with his expenses. His expenses. When I say his expenses, it is mainly his gas, spending and eating out. I've been the main provider for our home, paying the mortgage, utilities, majority of entertainment, traveling expenses, all pet, 2 dogs and a cat expenses, and groceries. Why did you marry this bum? Why did you marry this bum? And a lot of you women are married to bums, and I'm begging, please, kicking and screaming to the young ladies and ladies who are listening, please do not marry bums. Men who are males who are becoming, have not figured out their lives and established themselves. Read on. He lost his part-time job during COVID, and during that time also had a back injury that pretty much disabled him from going back to work. So now he solely relies on his freelance art, which is not always a reliable source of income. A few years ago, he inherited 2 properties from relatives. Right, while he was in college, he could have been doing art. But no, you're being the man, so why should he? Okay. A few years ago, I'm reading on the other side. It's too many commercials, so I don't want to. A few years ago, he inherited 2 properties from relatives. He wanted to build rental units in one of the properties, but when he didn't qualify for a loan, when he did not qualify for a loan, ladies, in my husband profile course, I teach that you don't have to have 800 credit, but you need to have a good enough credit to buy a house. If you don't have good enough credit to buy a house, you's no good. In my day back then, the credit you need to buy a house, I think, was like 640 or 650. If you don't even have a 640 or 650, bum. Let's read on. He didn't qualify for a loan. I stepped in and co-signed for the loan to take out equity and use the money to build the property. So she stepped in, co-signed for his loan, and take equity out of her house that she paid for, that she bought, that she's been paying the mortgage. He agreed to put me on the title since the loan would be under both of our names. I helped him deal with the architect and City Hall to pull permits. I was heavily involved pre-construction, but we agreed that he would deal with the contractor. Even then, he asked me to help deal with the contractor once in a while and go with him to the inspections. When the money from the loan ran out, I put in some of my own funds to finish the project. My husband said he would pay me back, but 2 years later, I haven't gotten it all back yet. Prior to getting the loan, I asked if I would be willing to sign. He asked if I would be willing to sign a document stating that I had no claim to the property. At the time, I didn't think much of it, but I hadn't realized how much involved I would actually have in the property. So, after all that, this bum trash of a man asked her to sign documents that she don't have anything in the property. After construction was completed, I was in charge of finding a property management company, and before that, I was the main contact for the rental posting while looking for tenants, since he said he didn't have the patience to deal with people. A couple of years after the instruction, he brought up the Postnup again. After giving it some thought, while I agree that I don't have any claim to the property solely on his name, I do have a claim to at least the addition we made to the second property. He says that I should have to benefit from his family's inheritance. I think this should have said he said that I shouldn't have to benefit from his family's inheritance. It makes me feel like trash that everything I did to help him build the units meant nothing. He says that me not signing the postnup makes him not trust me, but a postnup was never an issue when he didn't have any property and all we had was our residence that is under my name. He said that since he signed a quitclaim deed, he doesn't have claim to our residence, but that's not how it works in community property state. I know a postnup would also benefit me in that I would protect my residence, my 401k, and my future alimony payments. But the distrust is so hurtful that I think at this point I would rather divorce. I wouldn't touch his property, but demand to have him refinance to move me from the loan on the rental property. I just think I can. I just don't think I can get over the distrust and loss of self-respect if I were to sign the postnup after 20 years of marriage. It just makes me feel like such a doormat you were, dear. What would you do in this situation? Am I thinking about the wrong and not seeing his side? Am I being inconsiderate? Since the rental income would be his lifeline if we were to get divorced, just a side note, there is no suspicions about infidelity or anything like that. The thing is, I still love him very much, and I know he loves me. I just don't know where all this mistrust is coming from. What do you love about this bum? Huh? What do you love about him? What do you love? I think you should sign the postnup because you said in your letter that if you sign a postnup, you would benefit. Because since this bum of a man you have has nothing, he is entitled to have your 401k, and he will be entitled to alimony in the event of a divorce. Here's the thing about inheritance. Inheritance, whoever inherit, like he inherited 2 houses, legally she does not have any rights to the inheritance. However, because she signed the loan, because she took equity out of their house to fix up the property, because they commingled money to fix up the property, it now becomes community property, and she is entitled to half of those 2 houses. This is why, ma'am, you should go ahead, sign the postnup, let him keep the house, okay? He said he was going to pay you back. Let him pay you back. Let him keep the house, and you keep all of your 401k and no alimony. Go ahead and sign it and drop the bomb quicker than a New York second or minute. The nerve of him. This is what I mean, ladies, about building these men. They don't respect you. And the truth is, he don't love her. He don't love her. He doesn't love you. Because first of all, a man who loves a woman is going to take care of her, provide for her. And so you've been his mama for 20 years, and now he's finally growing up and he's ready to get rid of his mama. Go ahead and sign the Postnup and get you a good lawyer and have the lawyer write it up where he keep his house. You get back the money you put in, and you keep all of your 401k and your pension and you don't pay him any alimony. Okay? That's what you need to do. Ladies, this is an example of why you do not date these men. Don't marry them. Jesus Christ. Do not marry these little boys. They're little boys. They're not men. They're not men. Don't marry them. I love you. Thank you so much for your love and support. I just want to remind you about my books available on Amazon. I'm going to be putting them on sale next month for my birthday. You know, October 11th is my birthday. And I want to thank you for your love and support watching my videos. I know YouTube is holding us down and, you know, but whatever. I'm here to do my videos, okay? The real cousins and nieces and stuff, they will always come look for my video. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye.